Morning, everybody. The March 24th, 2023 Oregon State Lottery Commission meeting is now in session. It's noted for the record that commissioners are attending this meeting via the web. Commissioner Wilcox is excused and a quorum of commissioners is present for today's meeting. Today's meeting is being live streamed on the internet and a link is posted on the Oregon Lottery's website. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Patel,
Here.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Here.
Chair Safoff,
Here. For the record, all commissioners are present. Members of the public had the opportunity to provide written public comments to the commission for this meeting. Can the clerk please confirm that there's no public comment was received?
that is correct. We did not receive any public comment.
Thank you. With that, let's move directly to the financial report. Kathy?
Yes, good morning, Chair Safoff, Commissioners, Interim Director Mike Wells. For the record, my name is Kathy Ortega, Chief Financial Officer for the Oregon Lottery, and we're going to go over the operating statement and financials for the month of February. Looking at the current month of February, we have net revenue of 109.5 million on a budget of 107, almost 108 million, about $1.5 million favorable. We have commissions unfavorable when there's a favorable revenue variance. Net profit was 71.9 on a budget of 67.9, or about $4 million favorable. And on a year-to-date basis, which is the next schedule, we have $933.7 million of revenue on a budget of 924.1, about $9.5 million favorable. Everything else, except for the commissions, which I just spoke of, is positive. And on a year-to-date basis, we have net profit of 602.2 on a budget of 559.6. or $42.7 million favorable. Moving on to the schedule for current month and year-to-date of services and supplies, we have on a year-to-date basis, all of our spending categories are favorable. And I also have the balance sheet for you to take a look at today. And I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have on the financials as of the end of February.
If there are no questions, I believe you have a motion in your
Oh,
packet.
I'm sorry. I think I was on mute. Could you guys hear me?
No,
Oh, I apologize. I was on mute and didn't realize it.
that's
I
okay.
actually asked if there were questions or comments from the commission. And I don't think there are because I didn't hear any. Is there a motion to approve the financial statements?
I move that the Oregon State Lottery financial statements for month ended February 28th, 2023 be approved for the record as presented today.
Do I have a second? Marlene, if you can, second. Or
Second.
thank you. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Patel,
Aye.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Aye.
Chair Safoff,
Aye. For the record, the motion is passed. With that, let's move to the minutes of the previous commission meeting. The minutes of the previous commission meeting have been circulated to the commission in advance of today's meeting. If there are no changes to the minutes, is there a motion to approve?
I move that the minutes of the Oregon State Lottery Commission meeting held on February 17th, 2023 be approved as final as presented today.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Patel,
Aye.
Commissioner Ramirez,
Aye.
Chair Satthoff.
Aye. For the record, the motion has passed. Marlene, I really appreciate you given your schedule today, taking time to help us today. With that, let's move to the director's report.
Good morning, Chair Satthoff, members of the commission. I'll start today's director report with a little lottery news. March is Problem Gambling Awareness Month. And for the 20th year, the Oregon Lottery is proud to support efforts to increase awareness regarding problem gambling. As a reminder, lottery partners with public health, advocacy groups, and gambling operators to ensure people understand free treatment and counseling are available through Oregon Problem Gambling Resources and their website. Since 1992, 1% of Oregon Lottery revenue, which is over $128 million, has been dedicated to supporting problem gambling treatment and prevention efforts throughout Oregon. In 2022, 2,100 calls were made to the helpline in Oregon, and more than 200 chats and texts came in for their assistance. So we are excited to continue that support of those programs. Since the Wilsonville Payment Center opened in October of 2015, our policy has been to only pay prizes in Wilsonville below $50,000. This was in part due to security requirements set by MUSL, the Multi-State Lottery Association that oversees the security components of our draw games. But in an effort to make claiming prizes of any value a bit easier for our players, we made the necessary changes over the last month to allow players to now claim top tier prizes in Wilsonville. So just last week, our first $1 million Powerball winner was actually paid in Wilsonville. And so we're excited that this is going to offer another way to enhance our customer experience, make it a little bit easier for some of our travelers so they do not have to come all the way to Salem, and lessen a little bit of the pressure on our Salem Payment Center that's always handled all of our high tier prizes. Moving on to a field trial. The field trial of our new Cascadia video lottery terminal is currently underway. The new game terminal is being tested at 100 retailers within a 25-mile radius of Salem. The final terminals are actually being deployed today, so we'll have all of those out in the field. The results of the field trial will help determine whether the Cascadia terminal is a viable replacement for other older terminals that we currently have in the market. And as we know, players enjoy new terminals and the new games that come with them. And while it's still early in this field trial, there's definitely excitement about this new offering. So you'll hear more about this as we proceed through this trial. On to sales. Our St. Patrick's Day raffle game went on sale January 1st with 250,000 tickets available. All tickets sold out by March 9th. This was the 22nd time a raffle was offered by Oregon Lottery. Our jackpot games are performing strong due to billion-dollar jackpots in July, November, and January this year. Year-to-date, sales for Powerball and Mega Millions are ahead of all previous years. Powerball is ahead of last year by 45%, and Mega Millions is up 148%. Scratch It sales are continuing to trend downward from their peak during the pandemic. They're 5% below last year, but still remain ahead of our 2020 and 2019 sales numbers. Sports betting turnover, which is also known as the amount wagered, is trending up with a 50% increase over last year. This year we've seen 371.5 million in wagers compared to 247.3 million last year. Moving on to a few winter stories. James was our first raffle winner, claiming his prize in Salem last Friday. The same day, the St. Patrick's Day raffle was actually drawn. James said he buys a raffle ticket every year because he is Irish, and he finally won $500 in this raffle drawing. James purchased his ticket at Roth's on Lancaster Drive in Salem. Debbie was playing Big City 5 Diamonds when she hit the jackpot of $25,000. Debbie won the prize at one of her favorite spots, Patty's in Gresham, which she says has a Cheers type familiarity for her. She plans to buy a new big screen TV with some of her winnings. And lastly, Kristen, who was also playing Big City 5 Diamonds for her first time, actually won $13,486 after playing it on a whim. Kristen plans to take her daughter on a shopping spree with some of the winnings. Kristen was playing at Lariat Lounge in Portland. And that concludes the director's report for this month.
Thank you, Mike. Any questions or comments from the commission? Mike, I guess my only statement is that I'm feeling really positive about the sports betting product line. At some point, it would be good to revisit, I think. Certainly, it doesn't have to be next meeting, but at some point this year, it would be good to revisit with the commission sort of the history here a little bit. When we started, what we expected as a, I mean, all businesses take time to develop, but I'm the last few reports on sports betting make me feel very good. I don't know if we're ahead of where we thought we'd be at this point, or if we're on target or what, but I like hearing that the amounts wagered is up, and by 50% is significant. So thank you. Thank you, all of you. Unless I hear any other questions or comments, this was a quick meeting today. This concludes today's meeting of the Oregon State Lottery Commission. The next meeting is scheduled on April 21, and I want to thank you all for attending the meeting. The meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Thanks,
everyone.
everybody.
Bye.